Hi friends, today is Tuesday, April 7th, and today for our circle time, we're going to read a story about Curious George and his first day of school, and then we're going to do a little fun activity where we are finding the missing letters that are written out, and you guys will be able to do that with me from home. And then next, we're going to practice writing our lowercase letters because I know you guys are so good at writing your uppercase letters, so I want to take a little time to focus on the tricky letters that are lowercase. And then we will review yesterday's letter sounds. So our story today is called Curious George's First Day of School. And this one, the author is at the top, which you guys are used to singing at the bottom. This is George. He is a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George was so excited he could barely eat his breakfast. "You have a big day ahead of you, George," said his friend, the man with the yellow hat. It was a big day for George. It was the first day of school, and he had been invited to be a special helper. George and his friend walked together to the schoolyard. Some of the children were nervous, that means scared, but George could not wait for the fun to begin. In the classroom, George's friend introduced him to Mr. Apple. "Thank you for inviting George to school today," the man with the yellow hat said to the teacher. Then he waved goodbye. "Have a good day, George. I'll be back to pick you up after school." The children were excited to have a monkey in class. George was going to be our special helper, Mr. Apple told them. And what a helper he was. At story time, George held the book. At math time, the children could count on George. And at recess, George made sure everybody had a ball and a well-balanced snack. After lunch, Mr. Apple got out paints and brushes. George saw red, yellow, and blue. 3 colors were not very many. George was curious. Could he help make more colors? What do you guys think George is going to do to make more colors? First, George mixed red and blue to make purple. Next, George mixed yellow and red to make orange. Then George mixed yellow and blue to make green. Finally, George mixed all the colors. What do you think happens when George mixed all those colors up? It was a big mess. The children thought the mess was funny, but Mr. Apple did not. "Oh dear," he said, "we're going to need something to clean this up. Everyone, please sit quietly while I look." George did not mean to make such a mess, and he certainly did not want to sit quietly. He wanted to help. It was his job after all, and George had an idea. In the hallway, George found a closet. In the closet, he found a bucket. In the bucket, he found just what he needed. What do you guys think is going to be in this bucket? It was a mop. George was on his way back to the classroom when he heard somebody yelling, "Stop! Stop! What are you doing with my mop?" The janitor ran after George. "Stop! Stop! No running in the halls." The principal ran after the janitor, but George was going too fast to stop. He grabbed the doorway and swung inside. Uh-oh. Splosh! The bucket tipped, the mop dropped, and George slid across the floor. Now the mess was even bigger. Mr. Apple looked surprised. The principal frowned. The janitor just shook his head. And George, poor George, he felt terrible. Maybe he was not such a good helper after all. I think George feels a little sad. The children felt terrible too. They did not like to see George looking so sad. They thought he was a great helper. Now they wanted to help him. So the children all lent a hand and some feet. And before anybody knew it, the mess was gone. That little monkey sure is helpful, the janitor said. It looks like Mr. Apple had a whole class full of helpers, the principal added. At the end of the day, when George's friend arrived to pick him up, Mr. Apple said, "Thank you for all your help, George. We hope you will come help us again." The children cheered. They hoped George would come back again, too. George waved goodbye to his new friends. What a great day it had been. He could not wait to come back to school. The end. So I want you guys to think, if we could have a helper in our class, what kind of animal do you think would be the best helper and why? I think monkeys are pretty good helpers because they have 2 arms and 2 hands just like people, and they can help us a lot. Alright, next we are going to do an activity where you guys will once again need paper and a writing utensil. And for this activity, it might be best if you use a pencil and paper and an eraser just in case you make a mistake. So you guys can pause this video and you can go grab what you want to write with and your piece of paper. And while you're doing that, I'm going to write down what you guys are going to copy so we can fill in these missing lowercase letters. All right. I left a lot of blank letters out so we can have a lot of fun filling in our letters. So this is what it'll look like. See, I only have a couple lowercase letters in here because I want to see if we can fill it all in. So at this time, you guys can pause the video so you can copy down this. Maybe mommy or daddy can help you. So as we go through the letters together, you can also write them down. So our first letter is blank, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what the first letter of the alphabet is. You're right, it's A. And remember, A is a circle, and then you give it a tail. So it should look like that. That is a lowercase a. And I'm going to hold this up over here so you guys can see. So we have lowercase a, lowercase b, lowercase c, and then what's after C? Oh yeah, it's the letter D. So when you do a lowercase d, you could do your line like that, and then just add a circle. And it looks just like a B, but the B has a circle on the right, and the D has a circle on the left. Okay, so let's go through our alphabet. We have A, B, C, D, and then the letter E. And E is a little tricky to write, but sometimes you can add a circle like that, and then what we like to call it is give it a big smile. And there's your lowercase e, and it kind of matches a G too. So now we have A, B, C, D, E, and then what is our next letter? It is letter F. Good job. In F, you want to make your candy cane. Remember, we wanted to do a candy cane? And then give it a cross in the middle. And there is your lowercase f. So now we have A, B, C, D, E, F. And then I filled in 3 letters for you. G, H, I. And then our next letter is what? Oh, letter J. Letter J is kind of fun because you have a dot. And then you go all the way down and swing it up. And there's your letter J. So now we have letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And this is your favorite guys' letter to write, letter K, even though it's a little tricky. So we'll do it together. So letter K, you have your line going all the way down. And then you want to make sure that you go to the middle of your line. And just do a little line up like that. And then go back where you started and do a little line down. And there's your lowercase k. And it looks just like an uppercase K, except this line right here is shorter, where uppercase K, it goes all the way up. So now we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and then lowercase l. And this one's super easy because you know why? All you have to do is just make a line down. And there it is. There's your letter L. Now we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And then what's after letter L? Oh, yeah, you're right, the letter M. And M is one hill, like that, and then another hill. And if you like, you can add a little line to the front. And there's our letter M. So now we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. And then what's after M? You're right, it's letter N. So N, you can make a line like this. And then you make just one hill. And that's your letter N. So now we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. And I filled in the next ones for you. O, P, Q. And what do you guys think comes after the letter Q? I think it's the letter R. So lowercase r, you make another line, like a lot of your letters have. And then it has just a little hill at the top. And that's your lowercase r. We're almost done. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more letters that are missing. So let's start at A and say our ABCs again. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and then we have the letter S, which sometimes is a little tricky, but it looks like a snake. So you want to start at the top, and you can kind of make, if it helps, start with the letter C, and then make a backward C. And there you have your letter S. Now we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. After T is the letter U. And you guys like to do the letter U because it reminds you of a smile. When you smile, it's the letter U. So just take your pencil and make a smile. And there's a letter U. And we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. And then what's next? Oh yeah, the letter V. And V, you go down, you make a line like that. It's a little diagonal, so it's not a straight line. And then you make a diagonal line up. And there is your letter V. Now we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, and then W. And W looks a lot like the letter V. So you're going to do one that goes diagonal this way, and then diagonal that way. And right now it matches the V. And then you go down again, and then you go up again. And there is your letter W. Or we have 3 more. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. And then it's the letter X. X is like a T, but it's turned a little bit. So you want to make a long diagonal line like that, and then come to the other side and make one that way. And there is our letter X. So now we have letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, HIJKLMNOPQRSTUVW, and then Y goes like this, another long diagonal line, and then come to the middle and go up like that. And there's your Y. And then everybody knows the last letter of the alphabet, so I don't think we need to sing. But the last letter is letter Z. You're right. And Z can be a little tricky sometimes. So you put a line on the top like that, and then you have another diagonal line that goes down, and then you go back this way. And there is your letter Z. It kind of looks like an S, but a Z has points and not curves like an S. So now that we have all your letters, I want you guys to take a second and pause the video, because I want you to circle all the letters that come in your first name. And if you need help, you can write out your name so you can remember what letters you have. And I'm going to do the same, and then I'll hold it up to show you what it should look like. So I have the letter C in my name, and I'm going to circle it. I have a letter A. I have a letter D. I have a letter I. And then I have the letter N. Whoops, I forgot the letter N. And then I have another C in my name, so you can just leave it circled. We don't have to make two circles, but if you want, you can. And then I have the letter E. And this is all the letters in my name. And I would love to see your paper with all the letters in your name. Once you are done with that, friends, we are going to practice writing some of the uppercase letters that I know you guys find a little bit tricky, just so we can review. And there's only about 5 or 6 that I know you guys have trouble with. And I know one of the first letters you guys have trouble with is the letter K. So I'm going to show you, just like we did on the lowercase letters, but I'm going to do this whole thing be the letter K so you guys can see it very clearly. So with letter K, you want to make your long line just like that. And then remember, you go to the middle or close to it, and you do a diagonal line all the way up. And then you come back to your middle, and you do a diagonal line all the way down. And there's your letter K. And you guys continue to work on that one, because I know it's a little hard. Another letter I know you guys have trouble with is the letter R, which is a tricky letter. With letter R, you want to do a line all the way down, and then start at the top and make a circle. And what letter does that look like? That looks like the letter P. So to make it the letter R, you want to come back to this middle spot and do your line all the way down. And then we have the letter R. Good job, friends. And the next letter is letter S. And this is a super tricky one. So you want to start at the top, and you're going to make a big curve like that. And if you want to do a C to help you, that works for you too. And then come back to the edge, and you're going to make it go the other way. And then you have the letter S. Good job, guys. And then another letter is the letter Q. Q, you want to make a big circle like that. And it looks like the letter O or the number 0. And to make it a Q, you want to put your marker or your pencil at the middle of your circle, and you're going to draw a line all the way down. And there's your letter Q. It looks a little silly. And our last letter is the letter Z. And with the letter Z, you do a line on the top, and then you go all the way down. And then you go all the way this way, like that. And there's the letter Z. And the uppercase Z and the lowercase z both look the same. You guys did a great job doing your letters. I'm so proud of you. And When we're done with this, if you feel like you need more practice, just grab a sheet of paper, and it doesn't need to have the lines like we do at school, and just practice doing your letters to keep your handwriting looking so nice and pretty like you guys do. And now to finish up our circle time, I think we should review the letter sounds that we learned yesterday. Do you guys remember our friends? Remember all of these? I think except for J. They are all animals and they have silly names. So we're going to go backwards from the letter O. And do you guys know what animal this is? This is the octopus. And he starts with the letter O and says octopus. His name is Ozzy the octopus. Our next friend, oh, this isn't an animal either. This is a noodle. And Noodle makes the n sound for Nile the noodle. And when I'm doing this, guys, I want you to repeat after me so you can figure out how to say the sounds too. Our next letter is M for Mimi the mouse. Our next friend is the letter L. L goes la for Larry the lion. Next is our friend the kangaroo. And kangaroo makes the k sound for Keely the kangaroo. Next is the letter J for jumping. Jumping starts with the letter J that makes the j. Jumping Jill. And I think the little girl's name right here, I think her name is Jill. Our next letter is I for iguana. And the letter I makes the sound I for Iggy the iguana. Our next letter is H for horse. H makes the sound ha for Haiti the horse. Our next letter is G for goose. G makes a g sound for Gertie the goose. Our next letter is F for fish. And F makes the f sound for Fifi the fish. Our next letter is E for elephant. And E makes the I sound for Edna the elephant. Our next letter is D for duck. Duck. And his name is Dudley Duck. Our next letter is the letter C for cat. And C makes the k sound for Callie the cat. And her body is shaped in the letter C. And our next letter is the letter B for bear. This is Benny the bear. And then our last letter that we've learned is A is for apple. And A makes the a sound for Andy the apple. You guys did such a good job learning today. I am so proud of you. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and start our next letter sounds for the rest of the alphabet. And I hope you guys have a great evening and you have a fun day. It's supposed to be a little cold, but it's supposed to be sunny. So hopefully you can get outside and have some fun. Bye, guys.